The knocking at 317 Amit had been raining all day. Not a light drizzle, the kind that taps your window gently, but a full downpour that soaked the roads, drowned the gutters, and turned the trees into eerie silhouettes against the lightning sky. Emily had just finished her shift at the local bookstore and was curled up on her couch. Alone, a blanket around her, the soft hum of the heater blending with the storm outside. Her tabby cat, Oscar, purred gently on her lap. She always liked the rain, until that night. At 3:17 a.m. Emily woke up not because of a dream, not because of thunder, but because she heard someone knocking. Knock, 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 slow, deliberate, 3 times. Her eyes flicked to the clock on her wall. 3:17. Who would knock at her door at this hour? Her house was isolated, no close neighbors. No traffic. Oscar hissed, his fur standing up. That's what made Emily sit up straighter. Another set of knocks came, this time on the back door. Knock, knock, knock. She grabbed her phone. No missed calls, no texts, just the flashing LED of her security cam notification. She tapped into the front door camera feed. It was black. Nothing. Only the sound of rain. She checked the back camera. Nothing. Until a shape moved. A tall, thin figure stepped into frame. Soaked, wearing a hood, standing silently, not moving toward the door, just standing there. Emily's heart thudded. She quietly tiptoed to the kitchen drawer and pulled out the small pocket knife she kept from her hiking days. Her hands were shaken. Suddenly. Her phone pinged again. Motion front door. She switched to that cam. The screen glitched, then for 1 second. Showed a face, pale, expressionless, watching the knocking returned. This time, on the window. Right, beside the couch she had fallen asleep on earlier. Emily turned slowly. Nothing. She crept to the curtain and slowly peeled it back just an inch. A hand slammed against the glass. Grayish skin, long fingers, no nails. Emily screamed and stumbled backward, grabbing her phone and dialing 911. The dispatcher answered, calm and precise. But when she gave her address, the woman paused. "Ma'am," she said slowly, "that house, that's the old Thatcher property, right?" "Yes," Emily whispered, barely able to speak. "There hasn't been a valid residence registered there in 5 years." "Are you sure you're inside the house right now?" Emily froze. "What the hell are you talking about? I live here," she cried. But the line was already dead. Her phone screen dimmed, battery 100%. But no signal, no Wi-Fi, silence. The knocking was gone. The rain had stopped even. Oscar was quiet. Emily looked around her living room. Everything was still. Then she saw it. The muddy footprints, coming from the back door, wet and smearing across her wooden floor. Leading up the stairs. She hadn't gone upstairs all day. She hadn't been up there since she moved in, holding her breath. She took one cautious step after another. The floor creaked beneath her. At the top of the stairs, the hallway light flickered. The guest bedroom door was ajar. She nudged it open with her foot, empty until she turned toward the corner. A figure was crouched in the shadows. Its head snapped toward her eyes, all white body trembling, like it was glitching in and out of existence. Emily screamed and ran, slipping down the stairs, crashing into furniture. She didn't stop. She didn't turn around. She ran barefoot into the cold, wet night and didn't look back. When the police arrived 2 hours later, they found the house locked from the inside. No footprints, no camera footage, no Emily, only Oscar, pacing by the window, and the clock. Stuck at 3:17 a.m., Alex had just finished working on a late-night project for a client in LA. The storm outside had knocked out the Wi-Fi, and the flickering of the lights made him uneasy. He lived alone in a rental home on the edge of town. It was a charming place, vintage, 2 floors, creaky wooden floors, but cheap. Almost too cheap, in retrospect. The moment the lights fully cut out, something felt wrong. Not scary, not threatening. Just out of place. He lit a candle and made his way to the kitchen to grab his flashlight. The flickering light of the candle cast long, distorted shadows across the hallway. That's when he noticed it. The hallway was longer than before. Alex blinked. No, that couldn't be right. The hallway always ended at the closet, but now it stretched several feet further, ending in a door he'd never seen before. A black door, old, rotting, with a rusted handle. Asterisk, is this some kind of prank? He whispered to himself. Asterisk, maybe the property owner installed something new without telling him. He slowly approached the door, each step sounding like a crack on glass. As he reached for the knob, he hesitated. His candle flickered, then died. Darkness, and then a sound. Not from behind the door, but from behind him, like feet dragging. Wet feet. He spun around and flicked on his flashlight. Nothing but on the floor were wet footprints, leading from the living room. Straight into the hallway, he followed them back to the source. The living room window was open. Asterisk, which made no sense. He never opened it, in fact. It had been painted shut since he moved in. Asterisk, the footprints were small, barefoot like a child's. Then he heard giggling, high-pitched, echoing through the walls. From inside, Alex turned and ran to the hallway, only to find the black door wide open now. Beyond it, a spiral staircase led downward, farther than the house should even allow. Asterisk, and from the bottom of that staircase, he heard it, his own voice whispering. Asterisk, I shouldn't be here. I'm in the wrong house. I'm in the wrong house. Alex stood frozen. His flashlight began to dim, though the batteries were brand new. He stepped backward, and something cold grabbed his hand. He looked down. A child, soaked in rain, pale-skinned eyes, pure black, was holding his fingers. Asterisk, Daddy, it said, smiling. Asterisk, you came back. Alex screamed and yanked his hand away, but the child was gone. His front door was locked. The windows wouldn't open. Asterisk, and on his wall, carved deep into the paint, was a message. Here, you were never supposed to find this house. When Alex's landlord checked the house the next morning, Alex was nowhere to be found. The door was locked from the inside, but in the hallway, that mysterious black door, it didn't exist. Never had. Asterisk, but when the landlord walked to the kitchen, something chilled him to the bone. Asterisk, on the refrigerator was a crayon drawing. A stick figure man holding hands with a small stick figure child. Asterisk, the man was labeled Daddy. Asterisk, the child. Asterisk, Lydia. No one in the house had that name. One should have been there at all. 12:09 a.m. Continuous rain, thunderstorm warnings. Noah had just moved back into his childhood home, a creaky old farmhouse that sat in the middle of open fields with no neighbors for miles. Asterisk, he didn't mind the isolation. After his divorce, it felt like exactly what he needed: quiet, distance, and time to think. But the house was never really quiet. It creaked, it groaned, and it always felt like someone had just left the room moments before he entered it. Asterisk, still, Noah chalked it up to age. The house was nearly 90 years old. Asterisk, that night, the rain came down harder than usual. Thunder cracked the sky every few minutes, and the wind howled through the chimney like a scream caught in stone. Asterisk, to distract himself, Noah turned on the old CRT television his father used to watch. One of those bulky sets with knobs and static when a signal wasn't available. Asterisk, Noah hadn't used it in years, but oddly, it powered on. Fuzzy static filled the screen. He flipped through the channels, though none worked. All static, asterisk, until channel 97. There was no channel 97, but there it was, an image slowly forming. Not a show, not a movie, asterisk, just the hallway of his house, asterisk, live, in black and white. Broadcast from inside. Noah leaned forward. Confused, he turned around. The hallway behind him was empty. He looked back at the screen. Now, there was a figure, asterisk, standing at the end of the hallway, facing the wall, unmoving. Noah whipped his head around. Nothing there. He stared at the TV. Asterisk, the figure turned slowly. The head rotated first, unnaturally, then the body. It was him, a perfect copy. Asterisk only. Something was wrong with its eyes. Asterisk, no pupils, just empty, gaping holes. And its mouth was twitching like it was trying to form a scream. The power cable from the wall, the TV blinked off. Silence. Then the same hallway flashed onto the screen again, unplugged. Asterisk TV, not connected. Asterisk channel 97, still broadcasting. Asterisk this time, the double was closer. Standing halfway down the hallway, same twitching mouth, same hollow eyes. Asterisk, and now holding something in its hand. Noah leaned closer. It was a knife. Asterisk, Noah stood up, heart pounding. Asterisk, he grabbed the metal flashlight from the counter and stepped. Into the hallway, empty. He slowly made his way down toward the end. Asterisk, the rain got louder. Wind slammed against the windows, asterisk, and then TV static filled the hallway. From nowhere, the sound wasn't from the TV anymore. It was in the walls. Asterisk, like the house was, humming. Then Noah heard something behind him. The static stopped. Asterisk, a whisper, came from the shadows. Asterisk, greater than you're watching the wrong version of your life. He turned. Nothing. But when he returned to the living room, the TV now showed the front porch, and on the screen, asterisk, the doppelganger, stood outside. Staring through the front door, he turned around. The front door had no window, just solid wood. But the sound of fingernails scratching echoed from the other side, and a soft voice whispered, asterisk, let me be you now. The next morning, the house was found empty. Noah was never seen again, but the power company workers, doing line checks, reported something strange. Asterisk, an old CRT TV in the living room, flickering channel 97, even though the house had no cable connection. Asterisk, and on the screen, a live feed of the inside of the house, with a man that looked like Noah, sitting on the couch, smiling with empty eyes. Madison was exhausted. Asterisk, she hadn't planned to be home, but the hospital had canceled her overnight due to the severe thunderstorm warning. Roads were flooding. Even emergency services were backed up. Asterisk, she poured herself some coffee, wrapped herself in a soft blanket, and curled up on the couch with her phone. Rain smacked the windows like 1,000 tiny fingers. Asterisk, it was just her 2 cats, and the storm. Or so she thought. Asterisk, at 1:13 a.m., her phone rang. The screen was blank. No number, no caller ID, just the word. Asterisk, unknown. She let it ring, stopped, then started again, same thing. The third time, she picked it up. Asterisk, hello, silence. Then a crackling sound, like a bad radio connection. Then a voice, her own voice. Asterisk, why are you sitting on the couch? That's not where you die. Madison froze. Who is this? She whispered. The call ended. She stood up, breathing shallow. Checked every window, locked, curtains drawn. She turned on every light. Asterisk, just a prank. Maybe some weird AI scam call. Asterisk her. Landline phone rang. She didn't even remember having it plugged in. She walked to the kitchen, heart pounding, lifted the receiver. Greater than you shouldn't have answered, the voice said. But it wasn't hers now. It was a man. Slow, hollow, like he was speaking from inside a tunnel of water. Asterisk, who are you? She said. Asterisk, we already met. In 5 minutes. The phone clicked off. She slammed it down, grabbed her car keys. As she reached the door, all the lights shut off. The entire house went black dot. Asterisk Madison stood in the pitch dark. Only the storm outside offered flickering glimpses of her surroundings. Asterisk a bolt of lightning lit up the room, and for 1 second, she saw something in the hallway. A tall, narrow figure, drenched in shadow. Then darkness again. She fumbled for her phone. Flashlight on, no signal. She went to the kitchen window and peeked outside. Her car headlights were on. She hadn't even left the house. Then her phone buzzed again. A new voicemail timestamp, 1:18 a.m. She played it. It was the call she just had. Only this time, at the end, a third voice joined, asterisk low, breathy, whispering into the speaker. Asterisk greater than she still doesn't know she's already dead. She dropped the phone, turned. The hallway was too quiet. Asterisk, her cats weren't moving. Asterisk, she saw them both. Frozen still, their bodies stiff like statues, both staring at the ceiling. Madison slowly looked up. A face stared down from the dark corner. Asterisk, pale eyes wide open. Mouth stretched in a permanent scream. Asterisk, the same face she had seen once before. Asterisk on a patient who died under her shift, exactly a year ago, whose body had gone missing from the morgue. The lights flickered once. Asterisk, and Then, nothing. The next morning, a neighbor saw Madison's front door wide open. Inside, no one. The coffee mug was still warm. Her phone lay shattered near the kitchen. Asterisk. And on the wall, scratched deep into the paint, were the words, asterisk, stop answering unknown calls.
5. The night that repeated asterisk setting, asterisk Asheville, North Carolina. Edge of Blue Ridge Mountains asterisk character, Evan, 35, remote software engineer. Lives in a renovated cabin asterisk time, 12:45 a.m. and again. Asterisk Evan loved the peace of mountain storms. Asterisk he chosen to live out here for the quiet away from city noise, from stress, from memories. Asterisk his only company was his dog, Scout, who now lay quietly at his feet, eyes darting around like he sensed something Evan didn't. Asterisk the rain had begun around 9 p.m. and by midnight, it was thunderous wind knocking branches against the cabin, fog rising from the forest floor. Asterisk at 12:45 a.m., Evan turned off his laptop, made tea, and let Scout outside. Asterisk Scout didn't return. Asterisk Evan stepped out, flashlight in hand. Asterisk he called out. Asterisk no barking, no rustling. Asterisk just cold rain and the sound of trees swaying. Asterisk then he heard it. Asterisk a bark, far away, but not quite like Scout. Asterisk it sounded distorted, like something mimicking a dog, but not fully understanding how. Asterisk he slowly backed into the cabin, locked the door, and looked out the window. Asterisk nothing. Asterisk he poured his tea, looked at the clock. Asterisk 12:45 a.m. Asterisk hadn't it already been that time? Asterisk he checked his phone. Asterisk 12:45. Asterisk laptop. Asterisk 12:45. Asterisk he took a breath. Maybe I'm just tired. Asterisk then asterisk a knock at the door. Asterisk 3 slow taps. Asterisk he moved to the window cautiously and peeked out. Asterisk no one. Asterisk until lightning flash. Asterisk and in that half-second light asterisk there stood himself. Asterisk not just a shadow. Asterisk a full copy, soaking wet, staring straight ahead. Asterisk Evan stumbled back. When he looked again, the porch was empty. Asterisk he turned to grab his phone. Heart pounding. Asterisk 12:45 a.m. Still asterisk the same time. Asterisk the lights flickered. A loud static rang in his ears. Scout barked again from inside the house. Asterisk he spun around. Scout. Asterisk the barking was coming from the basement. Asterisk he never let Scout down there. He never even opened that door. Asterisk he approached it slowly. Asterisk put his ear to the wood. Asterisk silence. Asterisk then knocking. Asterisk from the other side. Asterisk now on the door. Asterisk on the walls. Asterisk like 1,000 fingers wrapping along the basement walls, in sync with his heartbeat. Asterisk he backed away. Asterisk then the lights went out. Asterisk in full darkness, the cabin echoed with the same 3 knocks over and over. Asterisk on walls. Asterisk on windows. Asterisk on the floor beneath his feet. Asterisk he turned to run upstairs and stopped. Asterisk someone stood in the stairwell. Asterisk wearing his hoodie, his JANS's face. Asterisk but smiling far too wide, mouth stretched unnaturally. Asterisk the thing opened its mouth. Asterisk and Scout's distorted bark came out. Asterisk Evan ran for the front door, threw it open. Asterisk the forest greeted him. Asterisk no wind, no rain now. Asterisk just an eerie stillness. Asterisk he turned to look behind him. Asterisk the cabin was gone. Asterisk only trees, black sky, endless night. Asterisk his phone buzzed. Asterisk unknown number. Asterisk he answered. Asterisk greater than welcome to 12:45. The voice whispered. Asterisk it never ends unless you replace yourself. Asterisk he screamed into the void. Asterisk to this day, hikers sometimes report strange howls in the forest at night near Asheville. Asterisk sometimes they hear a dog barking. Asterisk sometimes a man screaming. Asterisk and sometimes asterisk they check their watches and it's always asterisk 12:45 a.m.